everybody, this is Cousin Shannon from Iowa. I'm going to be making a Mexican casserole for dinner tonight, so come along with me and I'll show you how it's done. I have heated up my pan. I'm going to put a little olive oil in there, just a little bit. I have a red bell pepper, I have a poblano pepper, and a jalapeno. I'm going to put that in here. Maybe a little more olive oil. I'm going to cook these down a little bit and soften them up, and then we'll come back. I'm going to add a little bit of maybe 3 cloves of minced garlic in here. And we're going to soften up the vegetables, and then I'll show you what's next. I have cooked down the vegetables, so I got red onion, the peppers, the bell pepper, jalapeno pepper, and poblano pepper. And I added 3 cloves of minced garlic, and that is all cooked down and gotten softened. So now I'm going to add about 2.5 pounds of ground beef. I've added 2.5 pounds of ground beef to the vegetables, and now I'm going to add some black pepper and garlic powder. Okay, we've cooked down the ground beef. I've drained some of the liquid out of it, the grease and the fat. I'm going to add a can of this hot tomato sauce in here. And a can of refried beans. It could be any brand. My spoon was a little too big. The beans give it a little extra Tex-Mex flavor, and the tomato sauce gives it a little more flavor. And then I'm also going to add 2 packages of taco seasoning, whatever your favorite brand is. And we're going to let this cook for another 5 minutes or so to get all the flavors melded together, and then I'll show you what's next. So I've taken my 9x13, I've sprayed it with cooking spray. I'm going to put some crunched up corn chips in the bottom for a little extra texture. And I'm gonna layer about half of the meat mixture. You could use this same meat mixture in burritos. Put it in some flour shells, burrito shells. You could make tostadas out of it. It's an all-around good taco filling. Really good Tex-Mex flavor. Make sure you get a good even layer so everything, all the chips are covered and the bottom's covered. And what you're really doing is making an open faced or a layered enchilada casserole, maybe you could call it, or Tex-Mex casserole, whatever you want to call it. I like to use with beef, I like to use corn shells. I like corn shells with my tacos. I like corn shells with my enchiladas when I'm doing beef. And then when I'm doing chicken, that's when, oops, sorry about that. First I'm gonna put some cheese on there. This bottom layer, I'm gonna put some pepper jack cheese. It's an 8-ounce package of pepper jack. Whatever cheese you like. And if you like flour shells better than corn shells, then use flour shells. It's whatever you like to use. This is what I like. Okay. Then I'm going to layer my shells on here. And there's going to be some holes, so I'm going to fill those in. I'm going to tear a shell apart and fill in the holes. Get your oven preheated to 350. So I'm just going to break these up, put them on here so we get all the holes filled in. And then I'm gonna take some medium enchilada sauce. The brand I use comes in medium and mild and hot. I'm cooking for my mom today, so I'm gonna only use 1 can of medium. Sometimes I'll do a medium and a hot. I alternate on levels. But I'm gonna do a medium and a mild today for my mom. So it's not quite as spicy because I do have the jalapenos already in the meat. And I use that hot tomato sauce. So I don't want it to be too spicy for her. So first layer, and then we're going to use the rest of the meat here. You don't want a whole lot of liquid besides the enchilada sauce. When you bake the enchilada sauce, it gets a little thicker. So make sure to drain the fat out of it. Like I said, the beans help thicken up the meat mixture. And then this next layer is going to be some cheddar. Another 8 ounces of cheese. Another layer of tortillas to keep that going. Doing it like this, you don't have to soak the shells, you don't have to roll them up, but you get that same enchilada vibe. Then you got the crunch with the chips going on. And then on the top layer, I'm going to put a mild cover it all up. I got a little extra sauce here because I knew wouldn't have quite enough. My pan's a little bigger than 13 by 9. So you could probably go, if you're using a regular 13 by 9, use 2 cans of sauce and 2 pounds of a hamburger. I added an extra half a pound of hamburger just because this is a little bigger pan. Make sure that covers all the shells so you don't get the crunchy bits. And then I'm going to add a little bit more cheese on the top. Maybe another 8 ounces or so. This one's just a mixture, one of those Colby Jack cheeses. Just put some cheese on top. I'm going to stick it in the oven and bake it for about 25 minutes, and then I'm going to pull it out and crumble up some Doritos on top, just a little bit, for your favorite corn chip. Whoops. Of course, there's a pan in the oven when I want to do that. Always check your oven before you bake something. I also had the racks adjusted for something else the other day. There we go. And that's going to bake for about 25 minutes, and then we're going to check on it and add some Doritos, and it'll be just about done. So this has been baking for about 25 minutes. This is what it looks like when it comes out of the oven. And then I'm just gonna put some nacho flavored corn chips on top and put it in for about 5 more minutes. And then we'll take it out and plate it up, and I'll let you see what it looks like when I get it out of the oven. This will just bake for another 5 minutes to crisp those up. And then I'll probably let it sit for about 10 minutes before I cut into it so it firms up a little bit. Here's the finished product. This is our Tex-Mex casserole. We're gonna watch a football game and eat our casserole. Let me know what you guys make on your favorite cool fall days. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. It would really help us out. And also comment in the comments. Tell us where you're from. Tell us what you like to cook. And maybe we can whip it up for you on a video. See you next time.